Hello YouTube, Ultramaximus back with another Transformers review. This time we're going to take a look at a Cyberverse figure from Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, and it's Hardshell. Yeah, I really do dig this character. I like this character. I like the Insecticons in the show. I think they're very cool. Now, excuse me, starting to fight a cold. If they don't make a deluxe or a Voyager class figure, I'd prefer to see a Voyager class of this guy. I think it's a shame. I think they're at least going to make a deluxe figure, but I'm not really sure. I can't remember what the figures were at BotCon that were released for release in this line. So if you know, let me know. Add a comment down below. I'd really like to know. I'm really hoping they do make a bigger version of this guy. But not knowing if they are or not, I went ahead and picked this guy up because I seen this guy on the north side of Indianapolis in Carmel at a Meijer, and this is the only one I've seen. I went back, I saw him once, and I kind of passed on him. They had this guy, and they had Trail Cutter, which is kind of funny that they had to change Bombshell to Hardshell and Trailbreaker to Trail Cutter. And at any rate, they had both of the figures, and I passed them. I thought Trail Cutter looked a little too Transformers animated to kind of go into this line, and I just was like, I wouldn't mind picking this guy up, but I'd rather see a larger figure. So, not knowing if they're going to do it or not, and I really haven't researched it online, to be honest, been lazy. I saw him again, I'm like, you know what, it's still here, I'm going to pick this guy up. So, and I'm kind of glad I did, because I do like him. And what we'll do is just what we usually do. We'll talk about the character, we'll talk about the packaging, we will get the guy out and look at him, see what we think. So, yeah, Hardshell is obviously a takeoff of Bombshell from G1. They've had to rename because I presume they sold the licensing or lost the ability to license the name Bombshell. So he is now called Hardshell. And he is a type of beetle, just like Bombshell was. He, what is that, a rhinoceros beetle? Is that what that's supposed to be? I'm not really sure. A rhinoceros-like beetle. He has his plague missile launcher included. Insects causing plague. That's awesome. Yeah, pretty neat, pretty cool. Basically, you've got hordes of these Insecticons that they really don't explain why they're Insecticons on Cybertron. There's a big mass of them on Earth that Arachnia wakens up and Megatron ends up taking command of. Hardshell in specific was supposed to be the most powerful. He was kind of the leader of them all. He was the biggest, baddest Insecticon, and Megatron sent Hardshell after, who was it? It was Wheeljack and, I want to say Lugnut. It's not Lugnut. It's the big green guy. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. The Autobot. Bulkhead. Yeah, that's it. Bulkhead. He, sorry, it's kind of late. He went after Bulkhead, and then he fought Wheeljack a little bit later, and he had these really cool scars across his face from the damage, and he had a broken bit, but you don't see that on here, which is a shame. So if they do make a larger figure, I hope they include that on the paint scheme. So, yeah, there it is. Unfortunately, that character ended up dying, but you still have tons of Insecticons everywhere. Now, the Insecticons on the show are kind of like the Borg from Star Trek. When you first see them, they are ultra powerful and damn near unstoppable, and then as time goes on, they become weaker and weaker, and they're basically these drones. They're insect versions of the Viacons, essentially, that are in Transformers Prime. So, looking at it, I mean, it's the standard Transformers Beast Wars packaging. We got the figure, and once again, they show a picture of the alt mode instead of any kind of artwork, which is kind of interesting. He is a Decepticon, if you didn't know. Packaging is really kind of the bubble piece. I don't know what this is for. Maybe it's supposed to be some kind of dragon scale thing. I'm not really sure. Kind of weird. It says it is a Commander class. He is Series 3, number 004, so he's a bigger Cyberverse or Legends figure, whatever you want to call these things. Hardshell, Demolitions Expert. Has it listed there with all of his stats. If you want to pause and look at the stats, you can. I'll kind of go over them real quick. It's kind of funny. Demolitions expert. He didn't have any bombs. He fought a demolitions expert. He fought Wheeljack. That's kind of interesting. Let's see. Technical data. His strength is an 8. Definitely. Intelligence of a 4. Yeah, I could give it that. Speed of a 6. Yeah. Endurance of a 10. Absolutely. Rank of a 9. Ooh. Well, for Hardshell, yes, I would say that's definitely the case because he was kind of the biggest, baddest Insecticon. He was the head of the horde, I suppose. So yeah, I'd give that to him. Any other Insecticon? No. Be like a rank of a 3. Courage of a 10, sure. Fire Blast of an 8, absolutely. Skill of a 2, sure. I'll take that. Yeah, definitely. Now, we do have what looks like a CG rendering, but I don't think that's actually from the show. It doesn't look quite right to me, but I don't know. Yeah, so there he is. Now he took a few other Insecticons and he called them by name, and I can never remember what those names were. So if you remember those, let me know, because I thought that was kind of interesting, but they never did anything with that. There's really nothing on the bottom except, hey, look, Transformers Collectors Club, and I've got a barcode, and all that kind of good jazz. And here's the back of the package. Da-da-da. We have, hey, kids, watch the hub. He's got a Plague Missile Launcher. Decepticon Alliance. That's kind of an interesting little piece. Here he is in robot mode, insect mode, and his really lame bio, powerful Insecticon warrior with the hunger for Autobot circuitry. He's a demolitions expert, which I don't know why he's a demo expert. When, yeah, so that's kind of weird. And of course, the Cyberverse logo down at the bottom, and here are all the characters, and look, you can buy ships, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, pretty interesting. So let's get this guy out of the package and see what we think. All right, so here we have Hardshell out of the package. And I do have to say, this guy has got some really, really nice detail going on here. Yeah, pretty cool looking. Now, he's got some kibble going on, hanging off in the back here. Out of the package, he's kind of like this, which kind of hides a lot of that kibble. I kind of like the wings tucked back a little. Kind of hides it a little bit more as well. But yeah, it's a bit of some kibble, but you know, it's acceptable kibble. You know, he's a bug. I mean, he's a beast former. He's going to have that kind of stuff. So sure, not a problem. But I do got to say, the detail on this guy is really, really well done. We get these nice little divots on his chest, right above the Decepticon logo, that look really cool. He's got the classic Decepticon purple logo. His face looks pretty accurate. His neck's a little long, I think, from the show. Unfortunately, there is no articulation at all in his head, but the rest of him's pretty articulated. I mean, he's got some really good articulation in his elbow and his shoulder there, and even his hand wrist has some articulation in it, which is pretty cool. His legs are pretty articulated at the hip and down here on the ankle, and the knee kind of has a backwards weird buggy knee thing going on there, and that's pretty cool. I do like that. The other thing I like about this figure, and it's a lot of the Cyberverse figures really irritate me, their hands always suck. They just look like they're built into some kind of door or something, and his do not have that, nor do his legs. So he comes off as a really well done figure in a smaller size. Again, the detail on this guy, I mean, you just got all kinds of wonderful detail on him, and the wings and everything. This guy will look good in a bigger version, and I really hope they do pull that. Now, the other cool thing about him, he's kind of got this G1 Insecticon Deluxe color scheme going on, which I am kind of digging. It's not quite right to the show. The show's kind of more browns, I think, and metallics than it is the green and the yellow, from what I recall. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But yeah, it's just the color schemes are a little off from the show, but that's okay. It's definitely an homage to the Deluxe Insecticons from the G1 series, which is pretty cool. And for some reason, it reminds me of like Waspinator. I don't know why. So he's got this weird face-looking thing here on his chest. A lot of these new Transformers have that. Must be a thing with the designers that they like. So, but yeah, not too bad. I'm really digging him. He's pretty decent sized for this Commander size. It's better than the smaller ones like the little Terracon looking one, Sinner Twin or whatever his name was, the Predacon. So he's definitely a better figure than that. He's almost up to a deluxe figure. About half the size of a deluxe figure, and I really, really would like to see this guy in a deluxe or even a Voyager. That would be really, really cool. So, yeah, there he is in the robot. I am definitely digging him. Let's look at the insect mode, shall we? All right, so here we have our insect mode. This kind of, I guess, a rhino beetle-like insect mode. And it's pretty good. I do like it. There are some drawbacks to it. It is kind of insecty looking. Here's his weapon, which mounts on the top. Obviously, he can hold it in his hand. I forgot to kind of talk about this. This is kind of an interesting piece. I'm going to take this off. I do like the weapon. I think it's designed well. It kind of almost has a saber-looking feel to it, like you could make it into some kind of a sword. And the weird thing is, this piece spins, and it almost acts like, I mean, you can spin it here. It almost acts like it wants to launch, but it doesn't, which is very strange. And it's even got a molding bit in there, like it's a missile where it's going to sit on top. So I'm not sure what the deal is with this weapon piece, but it's got a lot of detail on it. Very well done for a little figure. I do like that. The other thing I just kind of want to point out real quick, here are the instructions. I love the color purple. It's just a great looking purple, and it's just looks kind of weird. It's a strip on how to transform him. The instructions are actually kind of difficult to look at. The very small images. I'm not a fan of this strip thing. I do like the decals, or not decals, but the little logos and things. I mean, it looks nice. It's got a great color scheme, and I love all the gears and everything in it. It just looks nice. But unfortunately, it doesn't work very well as good instructions. But, oh well. Salivia. So here he is. Again, a very nice homage to G1 Deluxe Insecticons. Some really nice detail in the fact that if we pull this down, pull these legs down, you could see this kind of gnarly looking face up under there with these big red eyes, and he's just got some nice looking mandible pinchers, and he just looks really, really vicious. I do like that. Works very, very well. The drawbacks to this guy, I think, are in the back section. His hands become the rear legs, which are fine, except for the fact that the hand actually really shows really, really easily there, and that's kind of unfortunate. The other thing is his back legs form his back abdomen, and they don't connect together, which is kind of unfortunate, unless I'm missing something. They just kind of sit together like that, and yeah, you're not looking at it too much, so it's not too terribly bad. And then he's got these little wings that they're supposed to come out and flap. It'd have been nice if it had a gimmick that could get those to move. Again, that'd be something that you could see on a bigger version. And he's got a little bit of foliage right there, and you can see they actually hide his head very well underneath there. So all in all, it's not a bad bug mode, especially for the size of the figure. Okay, so would I recommend this guy? I probably would. If you like Beast Formers, if you're a Beast Wars fan and you like these kind of things, you're definitely going to like this guy. If you're an Insecticon fan from Transformers Prime, you're going to like this figure. If you're a Cyberverse fan, you're definitely going to like this figure because, quite frankly, this is one of the better Cyberverse figures I've seen. And, it's pretty good. If you like the old G1 Insecticons, you're definitely gonna like him. His price point is a little high for me. He was about a $10 figure. It was like 8 something. It was just like $9.52 after tax when I got this guy, which I think the price point is a little high for this size of a figure. It transforms well. It's supposed to be a level 1. It's not really that difficult, but you did have to read the instructions to figure it out and kind of look at the package to make sure you got him right. So it is a decent transform. But again, it just, I don't know, it's like a buck or two too expensive for me. If it was a little bit cheaper, I would be 1,000% satisfied with it. I definitely like the figure. I'm glad I picked it up now. And like I said, I picked it up in anticipation that they don't make a bigger version, and I hope they do, because it is a cool figure, but I think a larger version would just rock. So yeah, there he is, Hardshell from Transformers Prime in the Beast Hunters toy line, a Commander class Cyberverse figure. So thanks for watching, guys. Look for more videos in the future.